It is now on High Velocity TV.
That's nuts.
Boo!
Alright, here we go. A little bit of an impromptu start, but we're going to be back going green here. Kai Collimoy, Logan Bink in the 24. Logan Brink in the 24. And at least back to green.
Voice chat is on it, so please be careful what you say.
Yeah, I can turn that off.
Why?
There we go. It's off. Alrighty, here we go. Jason Hall gonna lead that, gonna push that bottom lane. Kai Collimoy is gonna lead the bottom right there. It looks like alongside behind him, it's gonna be the 51, the 57, Pete Tart, and that fast cash racer products Camaro alongside the 40 machine Alexander Ortega. We saw him get caught up in a wreck earlier, but off the bumper of Gavin Austin. Now he's all the way back up here inside the top four. He's going to go up there and try to lead the top 24 of Logan Brink, trying to make that top side work. Looks like alongside Finnegan Myers in that Ford Dark Horse Mustang, trying to make that top side work. And again, known for his super speedway talents here, really just in the early next-gen talent. You see Xander McKinney back there in 8th, making his way up through the field. Up 12 spots from where he started back there in 20th place. Starting to see a little bit of a gap, a little bit of a gaggle there. You see Kendorian Davis back there in that 5 machine. A little bit of damage to that 5 car after getting caught up in a couple of wrecks here. You see teammate Gavin Austin back there in that Wendy's machine, trying to make this top lane work. You see a lot of guys kind of spreading out here. A little bit of top, a little bit of bottom. 115 of 200 complete. Still a long ways to go. We will have green flag pit stops underway here sooner or later. Obviously, I don't really know how long they've gone on field here. We're kind of coming in impromptu, trying to take over from the Universal Broadcasting Network. So we'll have to see when they decide to come down pit road, if they can go long enough to go down pit road under green flag conditions. But still 2x2 out front. Jason Hall in the 41 machine, now leading us going into 3 and 4. Exiting 4, you see Jason Hall, a little bit of a wiggle off the bumper of the 57 of Pete Tart. That's going to give the run to the 39. And Kai Collimoy will lead another one here from Daytona. The 40 of Alexander Ortega. Really doing a good job. Trying to get to the rear end of that 39. Trying to do it in a safe manner. See right there. Ooh, a little bit. I mean, and what you want to do is you want to just try to get these 2 bumpers lined up here. The best of your ability to make sure you don't put that car in danger. Now you'll see the 40 jump up to the top. They're going to try to lead this top lane here. Going to get help from the 24 of Jason Brink. Logan Brink, my apologies. We're going to try to get these names sorted out throughout the commentary booth here. See, that looks like Aaron Trubel in the back there, that FTN machine dropping to the back there. Did not like what he saw. He's going to drop to the back of the field here now. You see 2x2x2, you know, 7, 8, 9 Carling steep now. Everybody just trying to jockey for position right now. Now you see Finnegan Myers will jump in front of the 40. He's going to try to lead that top lane. He'll try to get side by side with the 39 of Kai Collimoy in that outback machine. You'll see a little bit of a run from the top every time we come down this back straightaway. You'll see the bottom with a little bit of advantage in the corner, and you'll see that 39 and that 41 start to pull out a little bit. It'll allow the Kai Collimoy to clear up if he wants to take it. No, he won't. And actually, he will. With a little bit of a bad camera angle, it's going to actually put that 12 of Finnegan Myers in about a bad spot. He's going to be top of 3 wide with no help. You see a car further on back there, but not anywhere close to help this car out. And Finnegan Myers will get put in the sucker hole all the way to the back. Oh, the 5 and the 2 are going to go around. That's Gavin Austin. See the 41 right there, the 91 I think right there. Aaron Trugel are back around here. We'll be under caution here from Daytona. Gotta take a look and see what happened here. Like maybe some contact between Gavin Austin and the 5 of Kendorian Davis. Obviously, we saw Kendorian Davis racing last night in the not last night, but actually yes, last night in the no, Thursday in the Prestige Cup Series, we saw him actually take the checkered flag there from Kansas Speedway. So we'll go ahead and take a look back and see what happens between this 5 and this 2. These two teammates getting together, so obviously probably not a planned attack there. But we'll take a look and see what happened between Gavin Austin and Kendorian Davis. Looks like maybe a little bit of netcode. Looks like the 94, it looks like almost 3 wide there. You see the 11 kind of push up. We'll have to see. Is there contact between that 5 machine and the 11 before this all happens here? We'll go back to Kendorian. This looks like really where it started. Yeah, it looks like the 11, Max Ford. I believe that's who that driver is. This kind of pushes up just a little bit. Not too much, but enough to where, you know, the net code will start to come into factor. There makes a little bit of contact with the door of the 5, and then 5 just trying to save it. Gavin Austin tries to back out to not get in the back of his teammate. A little bit of contact between him and the 94. And Gavin Austin will hook the 94 into the outside wall, taking the 5. It looks like the 48, the 70, the 47, the 20 involved as well. And the 96, wow, goes for a tumble down here. We'll try to find the 96 here. I don't see him on. Here it is. Nicholas Road in this 96 machine will take a huge hit as well. See him. Well, actually, right on board with this 96 machine. You just see, you know, chaos in front here. He tries to get it slowed down, slowed down, slowed down. He gets tagged on the right front and up into the outside wall. He'll get close to. And he'll just take a stop here right on the banking here, down here in 1 and 2. Try to get back going in a safe manner. And yeah, caution will be waived here on lap 18, now 19, as we get ready to go back and see if anybody comes down pit road here that isn't involved in this big wreck here on lap 118. Get a 57. Pete Tart decides to stay out, but here comes Finnegan Myers and really the rest of the field down pit side. See a little bit of tire strategy here. So you'll see actually Alexander Ortega in that 40 machine win the race off pit road. Then you'll see Kai Collymore, Logan Brink, Jason Hall. Then Finnegan Myers back there in that 6 machine, in that Red Bull machine. Then we'll see Connor Blasco in the 98 Target machine, in that Toyota Camry. And then rounding out your top 10, Travis Prather. Hopefully I'm saying that right, Travis. Mine, apologies if I'm not. And then obviously Christian Zarate, Prestige Cup Series driver in his own right. And Aaron Probnot. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Pretty sure that's Aaron Trugel. That's who I know him by. But you'll see that 91 machine back there rounding out your top 10. And we'll see a bunch of drivers still down the pit road. We'll probably see, here comes Gavin Austin. We saw him involved in this wreck. Let's take a little bit of a closer shot at this new machine and see. I don't really see a lot of damage on this machine, so good job by Gavin to, I guess, mitigate the damage. And unfortunately for Dorian Davis, that might have ended his night early. We'll see. Still see him. Wow, yeah, still a ton of damage. I mean, see that right front fender completely knocked out, and I think right now for this 5 machine, it's just about, if you want to stay in, try to get and try to, you know, stand there, take the damage. You might get lucky and, you know, have other guys wreck behind you. He's back there in 24th, 1 lap down, but you saw it there. He was trying to spin the tires. That right rear is still up in the air. A lot of suspension damage, obviously. See that right front fender up in the air as well. But we'll go back here to your race lead, Pete Tart. We'll take over your race lead some laps here from Daytona and the UIS 500, the season opener for the Quill Racing Shop. I believe it's what the official title is called, Cup Series. So see this Fast Cash Racing Products machine go up there and lead. Obviously that Maconi setup shop, Ford Mustang Dark Horse in that 40. Alexander Ortega up here as well, and Ortega's been up here throughout most of the race there. We saw him lead some laps. We've also seen him, you know, get involved in a couple of wrecks there. Obviously Logan Brink, not a surprise to see him up here. Kai Collymore, not a surprise. Finnegan Myers, kind of the usual suspects up here towards the front. Jason Hall, Aaron Trugel back there in P9, Christian Zarate, and obviously you see Gavin Austin back there. I would say one of the first drivers who was involved in that wreck back there in P11. He'll be starting on back there in the 6th row on the bottom lane, but looks like pretty good lead car for that number 2 machine. As we'll see what Gavin can do. He's been up towards the front a couple of times throughout the race as well, so you do see the lights off on the pace car, which means we'll be going green this time by. You'll see that virtual pace car. Get ready to hook a hard left turn on the pit road. And we'll have a Chevy Ford front row here to start lap 122 here for the UIS 500. And we'll get ready to go green as the 57 Pete Tart will lead us back into the restart zone. Pretty decent jump by that bottom lane. You'll have Kai Collingmore right up the back end of that 57 machine trying to push him out. And he's going to get help from Jason Hall in that 41, that purple and black 41 machine. That bottom tries to get rolling here, but you'll see the top. If they can get linked up, they're going to have a little bit of an advantage down the straight as they'll have to run off the corner. And here he comes. Here comes the 40 of Alexander Ortega. And they're going to clear that bottom in a timely fashion. You're going to get the top 5 from that top lane going to go down there and clear with easy pace. You can see the 40 of Ortega jump down there, and he's going to lead that bottom lane. Help from Finnegan Myers, and you'll see Aaron Trugel back there in P3 in that line. You'll see the 33 of Travis Prather in that Budweiser machine going to round out that fast 4 as they're going to try to get that bottom lane up and going once again. And now this top lane has started to die. Kai Collingmore trying to lead the top as now here comes Aaron Trugel in the 91. He's going to try to take this top lane up to the front. He's going to have help from the 33 machine. And because of that, that's allowed the bottom lane to kind of get a little bit separated out. Now the 40s are going to try to have to play defensively here. You have the 12 of Finnegan Myers going to try to push this thing out, but Aaron Trugel will easily clear this bottom lane. He'll try to jump down and try to take advantage. Now he'll lead the bottom. We'll see if he'll try to jump back up to the top. Not going to be able to do it as here comes the 33 of Prather. Going to try to go up there and lead this top now. Now side by side going to the line here. The complete lap to 123. Give it to the 91 of Trugel. A little bit of a dicey pushing between the 40 and the 39. Got the two leaders of both respective lanes really sideways, and now it looks like the 33 is going to get put in the sucker hole. Prather gets taken 3 wide by the 39, the 41, and others alike, and he will go to the back. Gavin Austin going to jump that top lane as he'll be the 3rd car on the top. Going to have help from Xander McKinney, but Xander's going to get left out to dry here as he's going to have to try to get behind the 33 of Prather, as he will. And the top lane has started to die. Gavin Austin drops back down to the bottom, and Jason Hall. Everybody's just trying to find space here. Obviously, we still have a little bit to go here in this race. And now the 40 of Ortega is going to try to use this top lane. This bottom lane has no momentum. Finnegan Myers by himself here. So here comes the 05 going to try to push him out. No, he'll go up to the top. And that 12 will start to drop like a rock here down the bottom. He'll have help from Aaron Trugel. And looks like, who is that? The target, the 98 of Connor Blasco. And now everybody's going to get sorted out double file. Logan Brink will now lead the bottom lane. And from my little bit of prior knowledge from calling a couple races here on HVTV of the UIS Cup Series, Logan Brink was one of those guys who was leading up here when we covered I think last year's UIS 500. Logan Brink was up here towards the front. Really good plate track racer here. But that top is starting to get momentum. He's going to need a little bit more help from the 05 of Wyatt Blair. Wyatt just has not been able to get connected with this 24 machine. Alexander Ortega has this top lane rolling. Got the 40, the 39, the 40, the 33, and now the 2 gonna lead that top lane. Now, as everybody gets clear of the bottom, they're gonna drop down. Now you're gonna have the 41 and now the 2 gonna be the front 2 on the top. Now give that to Kai Collymore. He's gonna lead the top lane as they're just gonna continue to switch lanes and keep this momentum up. And with this new next gen car, that really what is all it's about, is keeping the momentum. If you get a run, you have to take it. If you can't really afford the lift and give yourself an opportunity to get taken advantage of here. So you'll see the 39 go up there, jump up, going to try to lead the top. We know Kai Collymore is one of those guys who know how to super speedway race, as well as the 40. I'm so sorry, everybody. I apparently had my mic muted that whole time, so rookie mistake trying to get this thing set up. I appreciate you White in the chat. I've been calling this race for the last 30 odd laps here. Last, I would say 15 laps are muted, so I appreciate that. And I apologize, just once again impromptu broadcast, but you'll see Gavin try to lead this bottom here. I'm surprised that he's been able to lead the bottom. You know, you saw him go up there and try to lead the top and was not making work. And I don't know, maybe he has a little bit of residual damage from that caution he was caught up in with the 5 and everybody else. We sent him up here inside the top 3. I'll kind of summarize what I was talking about here. I mean, obviously Alexander Ortega has done a masterful job walking the runs, leading this race, and you know, you're starting to see a pattern here. Some of these guys have been up here throughout the whole race, and the cream is starting to rise to the crop here as we approach 50 to go in the UIS 500. And you know, obviously you've seen the 40 do a phenomenal job up here in the front. Kai Collimore's done a good job. Gavin Austin has made his way back up here towards the front. Obviously you see that 41 machine of Jason Hall kind of sit back here inside the top 5, as well as Finnegan Myers. Everybody else is kind of, you know, come and gone. So yeah, Nicholas Martinez back there in the 48, that rubber racing machine. He's kind of quietly sat back there inside the top 6. And for Logan Brink, you know, he came up there and led a couple laps, but content getting back there on that bottom lane, and everybody else is trying to find a way to the front. So, but you know, have to look at some of these cars a lap down. We saw Jacob Bryant go a lap down there, and as well as Pete Tart go another lap down, 4 laps down. So, you know, Jacob right now is the only car that is 1 lap down. So he needs just 1 caution. That's not him, or for him to be involved to get himself back in the fight there in that number 20 machine. But Pete Tart is kind of in another situation here. I mean, yeah, I think getting a caution and getting that 20, the lucky dog, getting back on the lead lap is a good stepping stone to get Pete in that 57 Fast Cash Racing Products machine into a spot to where he can maybe get some laps back. But here at Daytona, anything can happen, right? We could go green for another long green flag run. We've gone 30 laps here, and we haven't really seen a lot of really bad racing. Obviously, we saw Gavin Austin put the bumper to the 40, get him a little upset, but they saved it and kept going. But when you look at Daytona, you know, we can have this long green flag runs where everybody's kind of cordial, everybody's trying to be aware of where everybody is. And you can have a flip side, right, where we could see a lot of wrecking, and that's something that could help Pete, but it's also something that can hurt Pete, right? Because with how big Daytona is, a 2.5 mile facility here in Daytona Beach, we're going what, 60, 65 miles an hour pace speed. That's a lot of time for these drivers to come down pit road if they would get damaged in a wreck, to come down, fix it, and try to just limp it around here. Now, obviously, that's not something that he wants to see, because if, you know, he's in a really bad spot, because, you know, it's really easy to get a couple guys that are involved in a wreck, maybe go 1, maybe 2 laps down, and it traps Pete behind those guys, right? And the only way Pete makes up a lucky dog, if he's behind, you know, some guys who are lapped down, is if the guys in front of him, you know, get a Phantom Zero-X, whether it's getting the wall, maybe just getting involved in a wreck, or maybe having to go through the grass. Maybe if they wreck down through the tri-oval, that will invalidate them from being eligible for a lucky dog and could potentially open the door for Pete. But 4 laps down, I mean, you're in a really bad spot there, because it's really easy for some drivers just come down, try to take some damage, maybe go 1 lap down, maybe 2, and still be in a really good spot to maybe get back on the lead lap here if they get the cautions they need. Speaking of a caution, a huge wreck in the back. Did a 33 around. Jacob Blasco back there. Connor Blasco, in my opinion, the 98, all tore up. Looks like he's going to take that car down pit road. And you see the 57 that we were just talking about on Pete Tart. A little bit of rear end damage. We'll try to take a look and see what happened here on your HVTV replay. Try to look at this 33 machine of Travis Prather. Oh, hopefully I'm pronouncing one of those right. And oh man, it looks like the 33 just hooks the 45 into the outside wall. We'll take a look back on our HVTV replay. We'll go right on the nose of this 33 machine. And right there, and maybe a little bit of a checkup or something. Looks like it's just the 33 coming down, the 45 coming up, and right there, it grabs the 45. The 45 is going to hook the 98 into the outside wall. And then, looks like the 33 gets tagged by someone else here. Oh yeah, the 45, when he bounces off the wall, grabs the 33. And a huge hit for that 98 machine. They talked about it, Connor Blasco. Lots of damage to this machine. And yeah, no, I mean, I think both toe links on that left side are broken. I think that is a race ender, fortunately, for that 98 target machine with 47 to go here. But, I mean, what a hit. I mean, and we talked about it. It was going to happen eventually. They were getting around that time where green flag pit stops were about to happen. I think you can probably go around 35 to 40 laps on fuel where you hit that 34 laps on this stint. So I think some guys were probably going to start to have conversations about green flag pit stops, but obviously not going to happen right now. I assume we'll see everybody come down pit road, take 4 fresh Goodyear tires, and obviously top off on some Sunoco race fuel. But we have 47 to go here, so I don't think you can make it here. I mean, it would be interesting to see how many laps of fuel you can get. Maybe a white Youngblood could inform me on that. Maybe someone in the car can inform me how fuel looks. But I'm not sure if people can make it on fuel with 47 to go. To the race off pit road. 40 followed by the 91. You'll see some guys with these earlier pit stalls probably take advantage of Gavin Austin. Will lead your race off pit road. Great stop for the 2 machine. Here comes the 02 in that Canes machine. He's going to spin it out coming out of pit road. Know what you want to say on the broadcast? Carmelo. Oopsie. He's going to try to Austin powers his way forward here. He gets that figured out. Gavin Austin will win your race off pit road. We're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break here. We'll let our partners over at iRacing talk to you while I get maybe a little bit of water to, parch my throat here. Obviously, we kind of got thrown into this a little bit last second. So I'm going to take a quick commercial break here and let our partners at iRacing talk to you guys. And I'm going to go get a glass of water, get ready for this last 45 laps here from Daytona in the UIS 500.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We welcome you back to Daytona International Speedway for the UIS 500. 45 to go. Going to be going back down to 44 to go. And obviously, we've seen the race leader out on track. Gavin Austin wins your race off pit road. See Finnegan Myers on the outside there. Gavin Austin will lead us back to green. So, I mean, 45 to go. I mean, I'm interested to see. Exactly. We'll see Letart and Larry Mack when you need them. We'll see if these drivers can go 45 laps here. I assume maybe. I'm not sure. So, regardless, I wouldn't be surprised to see some drivers try to save fuel here, just in case we get some green white checkers, right? You don't want to give up that track position down when you get, but beneath, I would say 10 to go here. And so you might see some fuel savings. So honestly, Gavin might be in kind of a worse spot here. Obviously, it's nice to see, a new driver leading up in the field and a HVTV affiliate driver here leading your field. But I don't know if this is where Gavin wants to be. If he needs the fuel save, he might just drop to the back here. But you've seen the cars shrink dramatically here. Now I think we're down to 18 cars here for the last 44 laps of the UIS 500. But Gavin Austin will get us back into the restart zone and back to green. And again, Myers with the good jump from the top. He's going to get help from Logan Brink in that 24 Exalta Flames machine. Cannot get back to the 12 here. So actually the bottom lane has a little bit of better shove as Aaron Schugel will push out that 2 machine to the lead here. But here's going to get a run from the top. And now Logan Brink is linked up with the 12. Finnegan Myers. And I'll at least make it a race down the backstretch going into 3 and 4. See the 48 of Nicholas Martinez in that burnt rubber racing machine. And they try to help that bottom lane get out in front here is he'll actually jump to the top. Try to get the top lane working now. The size is better of it. He's dropped down to the bottom, leaving Logan Brink out by himself, and he'll have to drop back to the back into the field here and try to make something else out of it. Now Gavin Austin and Aaron Schugel, Nicholas Martinez, and Jackson Brown has made his way back up to the field. It's been very quiet since we've taken over the coverage here for the UIS 500, but up here inside the top 4 now where it counts. So inside potentially our last run of the race here. Obviously anything can happen. We could get a caution that would really eliminate this fuel strategy potentially, but we'll have to just see. We're starting to see a lot of single file racing out here, as this really, I feel like this is what will show that people are starting to save some fuel here. You don't see a lot of aggressiveness. You see a lot of people just sitting back here. Not really on top of each other. This is textbook fuel saving if I've ever seen it. We'll go back to let's go back to double zero here, Michael Deitch. You can hear him, he's flipping out of the throttle here. I wish we could have our pedal traces here, but unfortunately, our good friend Angie Schulte has not added that feature to this NBC ticker. So I'd really love to see, what pedal treatment it looks like here. But you can definitely hear that Michael Deitch here in this double zero machine is not really pedaling it that hard. So just trying to come back here, try to save some fuel. Sounds like a lot of these drivers are doing, which, like I said before, it's kind of a disadvantage for Gavin Austin, your race leader here. We'll go on this gearbox cam. I imagine he's not lifting at all here. But actually, he might be, a little bit. I can't tell if that's from the 48 of Martinez or if that's from Gavin. He's lifting a little bit in the corners. Interesting to see if Gavin can hold on here and save enough fuel to make it to the end. A single file throughout the whole field here as everybody tries to conserve fuel. And this is, you know, the part of the race that kind of starts to lull, right? But it's a part of what you have to do here, especially when the cards are dealt like this, right? You get a caution here with just a little over what you can do. You're kind of forced to sit back here. I mean, I don't expect any driver to be like, well, you know, I'm going to go up there and race. If I run out of fuel, I run out of fuel. No, you're going to put yourself in the best spot to win the race, right? If you have to pit with 10 to go, you eliminate yourself from any opportunity to race for the win here, and obviously the UIS 500. On top of that, yeah, you know, the prize money that comes with winning this prestigious race here in the UIS Cup Series. So everybody's looking for that purse money for the win here. So you're gonna set yourself up here to try to win, right? Not surprised that Gavin has really been content leading this race. I really am. But everybody's single file. I guess while we get the opportunity, we'll go through your field here. Especially we're not going to have, you know, placements and stuff since we came in here throughout the second half of this race. But you see Gavin Austin now will relinquish your race lead to back to Nicholas Martinez. So the 48 Burnt Rubber Racing Machine will take your race lead here with 38 to go. Jackson Brown back there in P2 going to do a good job pushing out that Chevy Camaro out to the lead. Finnegan Myers back there in P3. P4 is going to be that 0-2 of Carmelo. We saw him have a little mistake there coming out of pit road, but has worked his way up inside the top 4. Nicholas Rose in that 96 machine, we saw him get caught up in that last big wreck. But that car looks pretty good, that 96 Camry. Gavin Austin, obviously we just saw him relinquish that race lead, but able to slip right in front of Aaron Schugel in that 91 FTN machine. Nice looking machine for Schugel there. And Michael Dice back there in the YMCA, also FTN machine. So maybe a little bit of sister teammates here. We had a 00 in that 91. Got Michael Dice back here inside the top 10. Good run for him. Wyatt Blair, the Fast Cash Racing Products machine. Max Ford running out your top 10. Logan Brink, we've seen him up there towards the front, but right now back here in P11. James Cesar, I believe in the 47. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Alexander Ortega back there in the 40 machine. He was leading a big portion of this race, but it decided to come back here and really hardcore fuel save alongside one of your, I would say, favorites to win this race, Kai Collymore. And rounding out your top 15, Jason Hall back here in the 41. Oh, we have a little bit of a scuffle here. 47. Got pushed out of line there. Need to drop back to the back of the field. You'll see Xander McKinney get back to the rear end of that 47. Try to push him back up there. They cannot afford to lose the draft. I think the 20 of Jacob Bryant might have lost the pack here. Which is not what he needs here. I mean, he was only one lap. No, he is on the lead lap now. Unfortunately, they are slowly pulling away here now. 2 seconds away from Luke Brandon and the 67. So that 3 Sub-Zero machine gonna have to find another way. Coming up here for the race for the lead here, we've seen once again cars starting to spread out, trying to fuel save, and this is kind of once again a little moment in the race. These guys are going to continue to do this until they know they can make it, and you'll know when someone makes it because they will easily go out there and pop out of line. And actually, you're starting to see Jackson Brown, Finnegan, Myers start to pull away from the rest of the field here. Little 2-car tango, and you see that 48. I mean, I would say, he's 3 and almost 4 tenths behind the race leaders here. You see them navigate around Christian Girardi. Girardi just trying to limp it around here. He is now 2 laps down. We actually started to see the front 2 pull away a little bit. You don't see that a lot here in the next gen era, but We finally did see the 48 slowly reel in these front two. Now the 35 will relinquish the race lead, and Finnegan Myers will start to lead some more laps here from Daytona. 34 laps to go. And I feel like we ran, what, 12 laps? So this is around a time where I feel like some drivers might say, okay, I've saved enough. I can kind of do what I want now and feel comfortable doing it to make it to the end. Now you will see some guys who will just continue. They save as much as they can until maybe 10 to go, and they'll go as hard as they want. You see someone maybe like a Logan Brink back here, Alexander Ortega, Kai Collymore, Jason Hall. These kind of 4 guys back here just sitting right outside the top 10. I could see them maybe just being okay sitting back here and saving more than maybe some of these guys up front, like a Finnegan Myers, like a Nicholas Martinez, right? And honestly, I think Martinez is doing a good job taking the field here. We'll go on his nose cam here. I mean, look, he can barely, he's barely pedaling this thing around. And look at that. As we look at it, the 33 was like, hey man, if you guys are gonna play around and do this, I'm just gonna come back up here and take the race lead myself. I think I'm good to go. I'm going. And speaking of that, we were talking about it. I thought these guys were gonna do the opposite strategy. No, here comes the 40, the 39, the 41, and also the 67 of Luke right there. They said, okay, I think we've seen enough. I'm gonna go up here and take the track position away. I'm gonna go up here and try to take this race lead away. We're actually going to get on that underneath Finnegan Myers. Take that race lead away. So now Travis Prather in that 33 Budweiser machine will lead some laps here from Daytona. And this will be the cat and mouse game, right? Did these guys save enough that they can go full out? Or are they just trying to move up here? They saw like, okay, we're going half throttle. Let me go up there, jump up, you know, past 5 or 6 cars, and then sit and line up here to take the track position, and then I'm going to come back here and now run half throttle. And it might be a cat and mouse game like that, where you'll see some guys come up here, jump up, take the lead, and then you'll see another group of cars come back up here, get together, and they'll jump up to the outside and fly by these guys, retake the lead. We've seen it a lot here, especially with this next gen package. And this really shows how much these guys are saving. I mean, Finnegan Myers is holding his own by himself on this top lane, so I'm not sure how long Finnegan wants to do this, because you know, he led a good decent amount of laps here. I don't really think he can afford to do that for much longer. I mean, he still probably has to save some fuel. I'm going to take a gander. But you start to see a top lane emerge once again, so Finnegan Myers will now drop to the bottom. Now the 57, I believe that is. No, the 05 of Wyatt Blair will jump up and lead the top. The 96 of Nicholas Road will try to push him out. Now you see the 91 of Schugel, the 0 of Michael Deitch. 2 teammates working together. Oh, here goes the 35. That might have been the 05 of Wyatt Blair. The single car spin. I don't think that's going to be a caution. We'll go back and take a look and see what happened. I just think not clear. Looks like he came across the nose of Finnegan Myers, and we'll spin it out here. And that will cost him a lot of track position here. But we'll go back and take a look at the race for the lead. Looks like someone else got caught up with that 05. Maybe it looks like Jacob Bryant in the 20. Oh, Jacob Bryant's up here inside the lead pack here. I saw Wyatt Blair with another car, but I mean, he is. I mean, that's probably a race-ending decision for that 05 machine. And now you start to see this top lane emerge once again. See the Schugel and Deitch cars drop down to the bottom, and now 3 cars lined up on top. You see 20 of a lap. I think he's once again a lap car of Jacob Bryant with a lap down after losing the lead pack, and then the 0-2 of Carmelo. Trying to make that top lane work now, but not a lot of help. With all that shuffling, so that gives the lead over to Nicholas Road, the 96. It's probably going to be the most strung out we'll see these cars race tonight. It's just because, you know, these guys are trying to save fuel. These guys are trying to get to a number of when they feel comfortable that they can go full out and go up there and try to race for the lead without having to worry about fuel. And every driver probably has a different number, right? Remember, you have to think about it in the sim, you know, the fuel calculator isn't as intuitive as some people would think it would be, right? You can't really go, okay, it says I'm good on the dot now, I can go full out. No, that's the number. You'll be good to go from that number if you run, you know, this half throttle pace. So you have to save a little bit more than what you would think here for your fans at home watching. You can't be like, okay, it's 20 to go, I have 20 estimated laps, now I can go. No, that's 20 estimated laps of you going, you know, half throttle, not really trying to pass people, just sitting in line. You'll have to, you know, when you see that number, okay, I have, you know, let's say right now I have 27 laps of fuel left, I think I'm good to go. No, but when you go up and pick up the speed, that number will drop maybe back down to 23, 24 laps. It's because you're running faster, you're using more fuel up. So, like I said, everybody's gonna have a different number when it comes to when they think they can go. And some drivers might misjudge it. Some drivers might hit it on the money, right? And that's what it's gonna be. I feel like whoever can get it on whoever can get that number on the dot and go out there and make that move first to go up there and take that track position away from everybody saving fuel. That's gonna be the guy who, you know, is gonna be battling for this win here at the end. If they can time it with the fuel mileage just right, they're going to be a guy to look for to win this race here, this UIS 500, to start your season for the Quill Racing Performance Cup Series. You actually see the winning machine use that lap down car. He said, well, and I don't mind this move out of Jacob Bryant here. I mean, he said there's not a whole lot I can do sitting in the back, being a lap down. Obviously, he is the only car one lap down, but if they go green here, I mean, there's not a whole lot he can do. And honestly, what he needs is a caution, right? If he gets the caution now while he's leading this pack, he is technically on the lead lap, but that 0-2 right in front of him is, you know, car lengths away from lapping him. The best thing that could happen to him right now is a caution, but unfortunately right now I don't think that's going to happen. It's because there's not really a lot of action going. You see some drivers now starting to pull up to the field here, trying to make some moves. Gavin Austin said, okay, I've saved enough, I'm going to the front. And just like that, by himself, he's got himself the P2. See the 35 now of Jackson Brown. He's going to lead this top lane, as well as the 11 of Max Ford. It looks like Kai Collymore in the mix here. The 40 of Ortega back in the mix once again. These guys maybe thought, okay, I've saved enough. Let's go back up here, take some track position. Or maybe go up there, take some track position. Let's go back there and save some fuel. But unfortunately not for this 20. He's now back down to one lap down, just because the 35, the 11, and now the 40 have gotten around this 20 machine. So now this 20 has to decipher, okay, do I go back up there, try to really take the lead once again, even though I know that if I'm most likely, if I go up there and continue to try to lead this race, I'm not going to make it on fuel, and I need a caution to get myself back in this race? Or do I sit back in here, hope for a caution once again? Hopefully I'm not in it and I get that lucky dog, right? Regardless, this 20 needs a caution to put himself back in the race. And honestly, I think he's put himself in a good spot here, because usually these wrecks don't happen inside the top 5, top 6. I would say usually when they do get side by side here, that caution is around, I would say, row 4 to 6, I would say. Right now he's sitting back here, I would say, what is he now? 6th in line? 6th. Yeah, I would say he's the 6th car right here in this pack. So if they would happen to wreck, I feel like he has a good chance of either being ahead of the wreck or, you know, seeing it in time to get out of the way, right? And not get that 0x to give himself the lucky dog. So, but regardless, that 20 needs a caution. He put himself back in contention to race for this win here as we approach 20 laps to go here. Jackson Brown will lead us back to the line to lead another lap here from Daytona as we get ready to go. 20 to go here for the UIS 500. Starting to see Jackson Brown. He's doing that same thing that those other two were doing. He is pulling away on his own, which tells me right now that Kai Collingwood does not feel comfortable going full out here. He's still going slow enough to where a single car is pulling away from the rest of the gap here. So we'll go on board with Kai Collingwood once again, and you'll hear him. He's putting this thing around, trying to save as much fuel as he can. You saw Jackson go up there to the top lane. That's something I'm not surprised to see, because obviously Jackson, I think, sees, wow, I'm actually pulling away from the pack here. Let me not give them the draft. See if I could just do something silly, I guess, and try to get away here. Obviously, we know now that anytime the pack wanted to, they could go run down that 35. He's one car, and they would easily swallow him up, but I mean, it's an interesting tactic to go up there and not give these guys who are trying to save fuel the draft here. Now I think you'll see Jackson Brown relinquish the race lead. Is now, oh, maybe, yeah. I think Jackson Brown now knows, okay, I can't continue to lead this race anymore. If I want to shout out race for the win, I got to go back there, get in line, try to save some fuel here with 18 to go. See what I can do. Max Ford now will take your lead over here in this DHL Toyota Camry. Kai Collingwood has worked his way back up here inside the Fast Four. Here comes Gavin Austin once again with a run. Gavin once again, everybody's saving fuels. Oh, Max Ford will get turned. Saw that happen live here. We'll go ahead and look at it on your HPTV replay. This is after this 11 got hooked here. Take a look and see what happened to your race leader. Yeah, I don't know what Kai was doing there. I don't know if he was trying to get out of line because he was overheating. I don't know, maybe he was trying to take it 3 wide in the middle. But you see him, I mean, he turns right and the 11 gets hooked. So unfortunately that grabs Ortega. I think it's going to grab some other cars as well. And a tough break for Max Ford in that 11 machine. And also, unfortunately, that will ruin that fuel strategy that we've been talking about for the last 20 odd laps. Something I want to see is, did this 20 car get the lucky dog? But we'll see everybody come down pit road without a blink of an eye. Unless some guys think that they can make it all the way. I don't really see the, yeah, I don't really, oh, we do see some guys stay out. I was gonna say, I was gonna be surprised to see some people not come down pit road, but we do have some takers of guys who I think are gonna stay out, but I do think those guys are laps down, so it looks like, yeah, he, and also the 20 car, Jacob Bryant, to stay out here. And I think, I'm not sure if this 20 will get the wave. I mean, we'll get the lucky dog. We'll see some drivers stay out. A lot of these just lap down drivers. Zerati. You see the 20 of Jacob Bryan. You also see the 57 there of Pete Tart. All these guys. Yeah, so if these guys stay out, take the wave. Colby Duckworth. Actually, Colby Duckworth, I don't think is out there. But Christian Zerati will get it back on the lead lap here. So you see right there, Ty Collingmore wins the race off pit road, followed by Luke Grannon, Aaron Schugel, Logan Brink, Nicholas Martinez, Jason Hall, Wyatt Blair, Gavin Austin moves all the way back down to P9. A little bit of an extended stop for that number 2 Wendy's machine. Maybe getting some damage fixed. Hi, Collingmore. Do you have a black flag? Oh. See him still on the apron here. No need to be fuel saving. I don't know, maybe he probably does have that EOL penalty for causing that wreck, probably. My session events in our timing and schooling isn't showing us when drivers are getting penalized and stuff like that, so trying to eyeball it here. But yeah, definitely Kai Collingmore did get that penalty for, obviously, unfortunately, getting in the rear end of the 11 there. Probably not intentional, but it happened, and he's going to have to pay the consequences here with all that said and done, because I got that penalty. I'll hand over the race lead there. Aaron Schugel. Logan Brink in the 24 making his way back up here as well. You know, Logan has been really quiet, especially during that long green flag run. But now shows his cards now with 15 to go. I mean, fuel is not an issue. Everybody should have came down, filled the tank, and called it a night. And unless you get caught up in a wreck, the pit crew is no longer here. So the pit crew is watching from the sidelines, and it's up to these drivers now to get up through the field. They're not going to need tires. They shouldn't need any more fuel for the rest of the race. It's going to be up to them to make it happen, right? We have some guys up here who can, I feel like. We have some guys who can that are also towards the back here. Alexander McKinney's up here inside the top 10 now. He's been very, very quiet since we've started covering the race. I haven't really talked about the 66 Bowling Green University machine. Ty Collingmore. See Gavin Austin. I presume Gavin might have had some type of penalty because he's behind the 39. Also see the 6-7 of Grannon, that black machine. And enough talking about the guys in the back. We have to focus on these guys up front. You'll see the pace car Hercule hard left turn on the pit road. It'll be once again a Ford Chevy front row as we get ready to go green, as Aaron Schugel leads back to green with 14 to go. We'll get outside of our crank it up section as caution is out. Like why Blair got caught up in something. We'll take a look and see what happened here. Wyatt Blair contact with the 39. See what happened. I mean, I think the 5 just coming up a little bit. A little bit of net code. I'll say that. 39 gets a bumper from the doubles from the 0. Comes back down, grabs the 05. 05 trying to correct it. And then you see some, I think some reacting out of the guys behind. See the 57, Pete Tart. Get hooked by the 45. Christian Zarate looks like could save that machine. But caution away once again here with 13 to go from Daytona. And now it's starting to get down to crunch time. This is where you need to start to make moves to get yourself up there. Obviously, with the caution coming out, we should be going green with 9 to go, I believe. It's going to be 10 or 9 to go. So, I mean, there's no time to waste. Guys, limping it down pit road. You see the Wyatt Blair machine. Damage to that machine. It looks like got a lot of left front damage. As Wyatt will limp it down pit road. Hi, Collymore. That car's pretty good, honestly. I don't think he should need to come down pit road, but we will see that in 9 on pit side. Maybe check if there is any damage. I don't see anything on that 39 Outback machine, but better to look and find out and be informed and hope that it is, and then be slow on power. So the 33 down pit side as well. You got Bryant, the 20 machine, taking tires and fuel. I think that's exactly what saved this 20th race here. Obviously needs to keep in it, but he needed another caution to give him an opportunity to race for this win here. He was on 22 laps on that last stint. Had to stay out that last caution, take the wave around, so couldn't pit. So now he gets the opportunity to come down pit, hop off on Sunoco Fuel, and maybe finish this thing out. I appreciate everybody abruptly coming over here to the High Velocity TV channel. And if you're new to the High Velocity TV channel, I always say hello over here from Central Kansas, the HQ here for High Velocity TV. And hope you guys have enjoyed the broadcast. Obviously, a little bit of hiccups here and there as we're trying to pick up the pieces here. But if you guys are new to the channel, I'd really appreciate if you guys hit that subscribe button. We're live at least twice a week here right now for the Prestige Cup Series and the AWC Pro Series. That'll be happening every Thursday and Friday. If you guys are looking for any broadcasting needs or anybody that call races here, make sure to email us over at High Velocity TV, HVTV Broadcasting at AOL.com, or you can even DM me on Discord. But we appreciate you guys coming out and letting us share our talents with you guys tonight. I guess something I didn't get to talk about is my name. Obviously, if you guys aren't familiar, my name is Christian Delgado, your lead commentator and lead producer for tonight's race here for the last half of the UIS 500. Also owner of High Velocity TV. So happy to have you guys aboard, and hopefully we've been putting on a good show for you guys. Now the field has been set. Lights are off on the pace car. And our top 10 is set. Jackson Brown, Finnegan Myers, Nicholas Martinez Jr., Logan Brink, Aaron Schugel, Gavin Austin, Nicholas Rowe, Jason Hall, Luke Grannon, and Carmelo back there in that 0-2. Going to round out your top 10, and these are the guys you're going to have to look for. Obviously, we have, looks like about 16 cars. It looks like 17 cars, maybe even 18 cars on the lead lap. Looks like Colby Duckworth might go a lap down here as he's still sitting down pit road here. But your last car on the lead lap here is this number 11 who got caught up in that last caution. So we still have 17 cars on a lead lap, so don't go anywhere. And it's under 10 to go. This is where the exciting stuff happens. This is when you'll start to see that 3-wide racing. This is where you'll start to see the pushes get aggressive, and the blocks get aggressive, and everything get aggressive. So, I mean, this is racing for the UIS 500, a crown jewel event here for the UIS Cup Series. So, but you'll see this pace car take a hard left turn, hopefully for the last time. Toyota forward front row as Jackson Brown, Finnegan Myers, Nicholas Martinez, and Logan Brink goes back into the restart zone for 9 laps to go here from Daytona. Great jump out of the 35 machine. Jackson Brown with a great jump going into the restart zone. It was that too good of a jump. You'll now see Finnegan Myers going to go up, try to take advantage of the little bit of a too good of a jump out of the 35, but Jackson Brown goes up there and blocks that top lane, allows it Aaron Schugel to go down there and lead the bottom. He'll have the 96 of Nicholas Rowe to go down there and give him a good shove. And now here comes the 35 go down the block. The bottom line. Now give it to the 12 and the 35 leading their respective lanes. You'll have the 48 pushing out that 12 machine on the exit of the corner here to try to get them side by side back out. Remember, that top lane will be an advantage on the streets, but you'll see the bottom have a little bit of a better advantage going into the corners. Now you'll see Aaron Schugel go up to the top lane. He'll have help from the 12 of Finnegan Myers. It'll be 35 and a 96 versus the 2 Fords of the 91 and the 12. The 2 Toyotas leading the bottom, the 2 Fords leading the top. 8 to go here. You'll see a lap car approaching quickly. That's the 45 of Colby Duckworth as they approach him going into turns 3 and 4. Schugel making that top lane work really well as you have a really good pusher, a really knowledgeable pusher, and Finnegan Myers who's going to shove him back out to the lead as Aaron Schugel will now drop down and lead that bottom lane. You'll see the 45 down on the apron trying to be respectful, trying to let these guys race it out here coming to 7 to go. That bottom lane looks pretty hooked up, but the 35 of Jackson Brown blinking. I don't know if he can be able to push him. I think he might be inside of that 91 machine as he is. He is inside of that 91, and that will kill the bottom lane here. As here comes the run from the 12 machine. Finnegan Myers will launch out of the box here and will retake your race lead. Here comes Aaron Schugel. He's going to block the top lane. Looks like the 35 and the 91 were able to solve those differences between the internet. And now the 91 will still continue to race here for the lead, as that top is not been able to be put together like I thought it would be. And again, Myers has not been able to lead this top up to the prosperity. And now here comes Zander McKinney inside the top 5. He's going to lead. He's going to try to get side by side with the 12 of Finnegan Myers to try to get him to race lead. And he will. So now Zander will be clear of that top lane. Zander making his moves here late in the race here. And Zander's been quiet throughout the whole race here. Kind of running in the back, trying to keep that car clean. And you see it right there, clean as a whistle right now. Obviously, we did see a little bit of front end damage out of that 66 machine earlier this race, but obviously he's had some cautions we're able to take advantage of to come down to get some damage fixed. And now sitting up here inside the top 5, not really attached to those front 4 on that bottom lane, but just sitting there right now, riding around, hoping for something to happen. And really, I think that's not a bad idea, because right now the top lane is not working. And honestly, I think it's too quick right now with 5 to go up there and try to make an aggressive move to try to go up there and leave that top lane. You know, Zander hasn't been up here towards the front all race, so I don't know if people are going to be willing to go up there and help him get up there towards the front, just because he hasn't shown that he can be a good leader. He hasn't shown that he can be the best pusher, because he's been kind of grinding out back, trying to save his equipment, trying to save that car. Now here comes the 41 of Jason Hall. He's going to go up there and block the top. Here comes the 96 of Nicholas Road. And now here comes the whole bottom lane. Aaron Schugel will, and here goes the 35 will get dumped. Here comes the 66 will try to save it. And the 41, I believe in the back, the 47 will also get dumped. Caution will wave here with 5 to go. And this will change everything. See the 6-7 machine right there is slow, but we'll go ahead and take a look at the replay here for what just happened. You see everybody going up to the top, and you see Jackson Brown. Because I want to be a part of that party right there. Unfortunately, we'll have to take a little different look from a different camera angle, I think. We'll try TV2. What's up there? Oh man, I don't even know if that's the 35's fault. I think the 96 is trying to squeeze it in there, and unfortunately, I think tagged the back end of that 35 machine. We'll go back and take a look here. Down the back stretch, you see a huge run from the top. Finnegan Myers leading that brigade. You see the 41 jump up. Then you'll see the 96 jump up. Then you'll see the 35 jump up. And I think the speed difference was just really too high. The 96 tried to do it. 35 squeezes them a little bit, and around there goes the 35 there. Saves it. And I think that really wouldn't have been a caution, but you also see the 47 of James back here. He gets caught up somehow after that 35 goes around. Gavin Austin puts the bumper to the 47. I think that's ultimately what rings the bell there for that caution to wave. But now, I think we will be going into NASCAR overtime here. So, I'm not sure how many green-white checkers we have. For this race, but sorry, messing around with the cameras there. I don't know how many green white checkers we have. But we will definitely use one of these up here for at least one overtime finish. Through all that carnage, I'll give Aaron Schugel the race lead. Somehow Nicholas Road escaped through that wreck, even though I'm interested to see what they call that on, because I think that was just kind of racing there. 35 went up there to block that top lane, and I think the run was so big that the 96 just had to jump left. I think if he kind of hit that 35 square, he was going to wreck him regardless, and tried to be a little bit more cautious, tried to be courteous of that 35 machine. Unfortunately, turns him down the track there and causes a big accordion, which unfortunately causes Gavin Austin to get in the back end of the 47. And obviously we saw a little bit of permanent damage to that 2 Wendy's machine. Hopefully that's not a race losing sentiment for that 2 machine, because obviously Gavin, we know he's quick, we know he's got the talent to come up here and race for a win here. Obviously has a lot of accolades and through his iRacing career. Hope for the best for that 2 machine. Hopefully, I mean, he's gonna have to look for the best here. We have some fans of a personality that I like. I love to see it. Thank you, Chad. I appreciate the kind words. But NASCAR overtime here for the UIS 500. We'll see who can come out on top. This is kind of shaking up a lot, right? Xander McKinney's up here inside the top 5. The 96 of Nicholas Road, somehow escapes here, and it looks like they're not going to give him a well, so they're actually going to get, I think, it's like Aaron Schugel picks the top here. So we'll give the 96 the bottom. It looks like he maybe wants that 12 machine of Finnegan Myers to help him get that shove here, maybe in communications with the 12 machine of Finnegan Myers. So we'll see, you know, how good of a jump that top can get, and we'll have to see what these drivers can do here. Obviously, you have someone like Gavin Austin all the way back there in 12th, and have to make something happen, you know. And we've had a couple of big hitters, you know, have to park their car early now. Christian, obviously, I don't see the 39 out on in this pack here. Obviously, he's catching quick, but see some big hitters that are going to be starting from the back. The 40 machine, I don't even see the 40 anywhere. But despite that, you see the lights on the pace car are off, which means we will be going green this lap time. This time around to start. I would presume one of 3 of your NASCAR overtime for the UIS 500 for the start of the season here for this UIS Quill Racing Shop Cup Series. Is Aaron Trugel leads us back to green for NASCAR overtime. Good jump by the 91 and a relatively decent start for the 12 there, but Finnegan Myers cannot get hooked up there. We'll see if they drop down to the bottom. They should be plenty clear. No, Finnegan Myers is actually going to go up there and try to get around, hit the 91 on the top. That's actually going to pull them both back. The 48's going to get turned around. Nicholas Martinez off the bumper of the 24. And that will be a caution. You know, Floppa's not going to be happy about that one. You know, pretty aggressive race car driver in his own right. Definitely didn't want that to happen there. But we'll take a look, see what happened. I'm here, high velocity TV replay. Looking at your drone cam here. Coming up here. Oh man, I think that was netcode. Another netcode incident here. We'll take a look at Martinez once again. We'll do it from the chopper cam. Yeah, oh man, that's unfortunate. I'll try to get it from another angle just for you guys at home, because it's kind of hard to portray what's going on here. Because this kind of push right here, this will be a really good angle here from our chopper cam. This push right here should not upset this 48 at all. You see it just snaps around. You don't even see the 24 make contact with the 48. And you see that 48 just snap around on its own right there. Go on board just to make sure there wasn't a driver error out of this 48. I don't assume so, you know. Nothing the 48 could have done there. So that coach strikes again here for the UIS 500. We've seen it happen a couple times, and it will strike one more time once again. And this will be our second attempt at NASCAR overtime. I'm gonna assume it's 2 of 3. I don't know. There might be unlimited overtimes. I don't know. I'm not giving that information. I will, I guess, check my messages to see if someone's giving me some info about this. But let's see. But you'll see the 12 machine, Finnegan Myers, the 91, Aaron Schugel, Nicholas Rode, and Logan Brink. Obviously, cause that caution, I will not put that on him. But we'll take a look and see. So I did get some info about, you know, a little bit of, I guess, a little bit of a history lesson here. So we do have some stats about your previous winners, and it's honestly very intriguing to see. So Daniel McKinney won this race in season 1, and you see him, he's in P5 right here, and in a really good shot to maybe win another one here at Daytona for that number 66 machine. Christian Zarate obviously still in the race, but I believe he's still in the race. But back all the way back there in 19, going to need some help for that 99 machine. Like he's going to come down pit road, coming out of pit road actually. And that 99 is going to need a little help with overtime to get him back up there. Logan Brink, season 3 winner of the UIS 500. He's up here in 4th, so really good shot. Zachary Javino not racing tonight, but obviously we know what kind of talent that driver has. And then Gavin Austin won last year's UIS 500. He's back here in P10, so I also think Gavin might need a little help here with just overtime to get him in a spot to win here. But obviously, you know, anything can happen here in these closing laps. So obviously that nose damage isn't going to help Gavin at all either, but that's something he's going to have to deal with here with that NASCAR overtime. I don't blame him for staying out. I mean, he can't really afford to give up any more track position. I mean, he can go all the way back to like 19th place. So Daniel McKinney might have blinked out here. That'd be a heartbreak for that 66 machine. We're going to start up there in the top 5 in 5th. It looks like maybe he had a connection issue or something, because he is not on the racing surface right now. That'd be a heartbreak here with your second overtime. This could be your last. So obviously I presume if he does come back in, they might try to do what they can to get him back on the lead lap, but we'll have to see. But you do see the lights off on the pace car. We'll take a hard left turn, hopefully for the last time, down Daytona International Speedway pit lane. And this time Finnegan Myers and Aaron Schugel will flip places here, as that 12 will lead you back to grid for your second overtime restart here for the UIS 500. A really good jump by those front two on that top lane. Logan Brink gonna push that 12 out to the lead here. We'll see if they drop down to the bottom, as they will. Leaving that top lane out to dry. And now looks like that 33 machine is gonna try to lead that top lane. Here comes the 24. And now here comes the 91. Aaron Strugel's gonna make this top lane work. Help from the 96, the 41, the 02, and now Gavin Austin gonna be the back of that train. And now Aaron Schugel leads us here. Needs to get it back to the line. Here comes the 96. Underneath it, 91 cannot block that run. It's caution will wave once again. Max Ford around here in the back. And we'll be doing one more, I presume one more. Take a look and see what happened between this 11 machine once again. See Max Ford back at outside of the top 5 here. See what happens in this 11 car. Looks like he might have got help. Yeah, just aggressive blocking at the end there. Fortunately, hooks himself off the nose as the 39. I mean, and once again, I just think that's a racing deal. Kai has a run, tries to go middle, 11 blocks to middle. Kai kind of breaks his ankles a little bit right there, and is already there at the quarter. And the 11 just turns down the track here, hooks himself, gonna grab the 0 of Michael Deitch and spin it out here. And that might be a race ender for that number 11 machine, but we'll have to see how that car is driving for the DHL driver. Go on board with him and see if there's a little bit of steer damage. I'm not sure how the I'm unsure, how much, because obviously at these super speedways you could have it set up to where you're actually keeping the wheel straight in the corner, so I don't know how much offset this 11 car has in the car, or maybe that's a little bit of wheel damage, but still, regardless, you're going to see him come down pit road alongside with Gujarati, like Duckworth. Obviously the 0 of Deitch will come down pit road. And Nicholas Road will take your race lead away. We were so close to getting back to the white. And I think Aaron Schugel's going to want another attempt at this, so I still see no Xander McKinney on the racetrack, so I'm going to presume he had some sort of internet issue where he blinked out. I mean, that's heartbreaking, man. You ran 102 laps to blink out on the second green-white checkered, so gotta feel for the kid. Everybody, let's get an F in chat for Xander McKinney, sitting in P5. Going to that restart and blinks out. Again, we do appreciate everybody for coming out and watching the broadcast. If you're new to High Velocity TV, hello, my name is Chris Delgado, your lead commentator and announcer for tonight's race here at Daytona International Speedway. Also, HVTV owner, so glad to be back up here in the UIS booth. As we call this, hopefully this last green white checkered. If you guys are new to the channel, I'd really appreciate if you guys would hit that subscribe button here on the YouTube. We are pretty young channel, trying to grow, trying to get more experience, trying to, get our foot in the door, right? So you guys would hit that subscribe button, get that thumbs up on the broadcast. It'd really mean a lot to us, right? Especially with how it kind of came to be, obviously Jacob Quill not feeling a little bit under the weather, asked me to, I kind of volunteered to come up here and kind of take over the reins here for the rest of the race here, and happy to do it. So but you do see the lights off on the pace car once again. We do have 18 cars on the lead lap. That last car is being Michael Deitch, and obviously Christian Zarate back here in the 99 machine. We have some Zarate fans in the chat. Not over till it's over, so as a good friend of mine says. And I'm unsure if this is our last green white checkered, so we'll have to see. Someone in chat does know and could tell me, I would very, very much be appreciative, so I can kind of stay informed. But be sure to stay tuned after the race, because we will be talking to your top three after the race, your top three post-race interview. Obviously, we'll be going through your unofficial race results and everything else. So please stick around post-race and hear from some of your favorite drivers potentially, if we can get there in time. So But obviously, you see the lights on the pace car. It's about to take that hard left turn on the pit road. Now the 96 and the 91. Now Toyota Ford front row is Nicholas Road. Lead us back to grid for our third grid about check road. Decent jump by the 96. He's gonna have to help from the 41 of Jason Hall. That top lane did not get going with Aaron Schugel up there in the 91. Could not get going there. But they will get a run off the top here. Going down the back stretch here. 91 with a huge shove out to the 96. Who will jump down? Who will leave who out to dry here? The 12 will go down there. And now the 96 will block the 12 here. Going into 3 and 4. Now he has the help from the 24 of Logan Brink. Logan Brink, a former winner here of the UIS 500, and we're going to make it back to the line. White flag in the air for the UIS 500. Now, who's going to jump out of line here? Who's going to be willing to make these big moves here? Is the 12 will jump out of line. Going to get help from... going to get help from the 91 of Aaron Schugel. 96 from help from the 24 Logan Brink. You're going to have a good run off the top here. As the 12 will be side by side with the 96. Will he clear? Will he try to get down in front of this 96 machine? Not going to be able to be clear side by side in a 3 and 4 for the final time. 12 versus the 96. Who's going to be aggressive here? You see everybody all on top of each other. This is for the race win. As you see the 12 get a little bit squirrely there. 12, 91, 96 is they're going to wreck. I think Logan Brink got it. Logan Brink will bring it home in a miraculous fashion, winning his second UIS 500. Huge wreck at the end there, fighting for that win. And somehow Logan Brink and the slides on the bottom there. And he's going to take it here. Winning his second UIS 500. Obviously won Season 3. Now we'll come back home and win Season 6. So congratulations to that number 24. We're definitely going to take a look back and see what happened here. Excuse me about that. Thought we had the right camera on here. We'll go ahead and look at your blimp cam. On here we go. So you see the 12 blocking. You saw Gavin Austin with a good run down here, down the tri-oval. And the 12 just really aggressively blocking the 91, pinching down. And just kind of opened the doorway for that 24 machine. Logan Brink will bring home his second UIS 500 championship. And what a win for that 24. We're going to bring it back here. We're going to see this driver burn it down here on the start-finish line. Continue to try to burn it down here. I had to put in reverse, Terry, but I think he might be just parking right there. There it is. Logan Brink gonna bring it home here from Daytona. Now as we wait on everybody to get up here in the broadcasting booth in the waiting room, we're gonna go ahead and take a quick commercial break and get your top 3 ready for their post-race interview. So if you guys would stick around, we'll let our partners over at iRacing talk to you for just one little bit moment, and we'll talk to your top 3 finishers here from Daytona.
Racing.
Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway. As we just saw Logan Brink steal and kind of steal a win here in glorious fashion here. Let's go ahead and talk to this driver. Go ahead and talk to Logan Brink, this number 24 machine. Hey Logan, it's Christian up here in the HVTV booth. You got a copy? Well, what a win for you. I mean, obviously, kind of in an extraordinary fashion there. At the end there, was in there in position really all race to go up there and be dominant, lead laps. And then at the end there, I mean, obviously we knew people were going to be aggressive to try to get their way up to the front there, and obviously kind of a big record there, and it kind of just unfolded under your lap there, and you were able to sneak underneath there. But just walk us through your race, walk us through that mindset during those last green white checkers and how you got yourself up here in the victory lane.
Yeah, well, over the whole race, I was just kind of being conservative, just because we don't have a fast spray today. So I thought 200 laps, that's a lot. We got to save the car at least, and did a really good job of that. And I kind of just worked with my teammates, Nicholas Martinez, James Cesar, and Finnegan Myers at the end as well, Hector Colazo. All those guys, we worked together. Finally, got to the front, and then something would happen and go to the back. And it was all over the place all day, but found ourselves in a really good spot at the end. I was working with Finnegan Myers there, and yeah, at least come on the white flag, I thought, shoot, I'm just boxed in here. There's nowhere to go, so I thought I was going to push the 96 to the win at least, hopefully, and they just wrecked. So I mean, I'll take it, but yeah, that was crazy. I've never really won like that before. So.
Yeah, I mean, coming to the line there, I mean, like I talked about before, we knew people were going to be aggressive to get there. We saw the 96 block, and we saw the 12 trying to make moves. We saw Gavin Austin even trying to make a move there, which I kind of think kind of stacked everything up. You were there second on the line there on the bottom, and it kind of just unfolded. Like what goes through your mind when you see that light at the end of the tunnel? You're like, oh my God, like, is this going to happen? Like, what is that feeling when you see that?
Well, first I was in shock initially. I was like, holy, did that just happen? And I looked right as it happened. I kind of looked to my right just to see, am I actually going to win this? And then they're all wrecking right there. And then, I look down at the relative and I'm first place. And that was just, I don't even know. That was all happened so fast that I didn't know what to do. I just kind of started celebrating.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, a very well deserved win. Obviously, like I talked about earlier, we're kind of up for an all race. We're upside and inside the top five until kind of that fuel run situation came about. You kind of put yourself in the middle of the pack to help save fuel. But besides that, you're up there being competitive, being aggressive, like you always are here at these super speedways. And obviously, your second UIS victory. I mean, it's got to be even sweeter to not only have one but have two here.
Yeah, the first one is a lot more skillful, I'll have to say. I definitely won that one with not everyone wrecking in front of me, but I cannot complain about two of them, especially after all that happened in this race. It was just amazing racing from everybody. It was really fun.
Yeah, obviously, an amazing race. Good, clean. I feel like a lot respectful racing here for the whole race, and even in the end, I mean, it just looked like hard racing. But at the end of the day, you bring it home here in victory lane. But before we let you go, is there anybody you want to thank here for the second UIS championship, UIS 500 championship?
Well, again, I want to thank all my teammates that I worked with today. Really helped me out a lot. And just, I guess, thanks to everyone for making it a clean race. We really needed one after, some not so great Daytona races this week. But yeah, and thank you for streaming as well. I know there was something happened there with the streamer, wasn't able to finish, but yeah, that's all.
Well, we appreciate the kind comments up here in the HBTV booth. But once again, congratulations on this win. Hopefully, you can carry this momentum into the rest of the season here, and potentially get yourself some more trophies here in the UIS Cup Series.
Thank you.
How's your race winner? Obviously, very cool fashion. That number 24 machine of Logan Brink. Let's go ahead and talk to your P2 finisher. Just a second, we'll go ahead and get your blimp static cam up here for while we get some promo shots here for this number 42, 41 machine. Obviously, it deserves just as much TV time as anybody else does. So, I mean, just seconds if we get this blimp static. There we go. Let's go ahead and talk to your E2 finisher. Oh. Hey Jason, it's Christian up here in the HVTV booth. You got a copy? Well, definitely a chaotic, last, I would say, couple of feet of the race there, but just like Jason, just like Logan, who won this race, you were up there towards the front throughout the whole race there, and really showed that you had a car to potentially beat, had at least a leading car who people could count on to, trust in you to not kill the field and do everything else. But walk us through that race there, walk us through that mindset through those last green white checkers, and honestly how you got up here, obviously with that chaotic finish there at the end.
Yeah, I don't even know what even happened there at the end. Um, all I saw was just smoke, and then I just saw the 24 cross the finish line. There's nothing that I could have done to try and get that win. If I would have gone up, Finn slid down, so would have gotten hooked. Um, but second, when me, Alex, and Kai probably deserved the 1, 2, 3. We dominated the first two stages, led almost half of the race. So we obviously all had the dominant cars, and just sad we weren't able to bring it home.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of bread and butter Daytona there. I mean we've seen even here in previous QRS 500s where you'll see dominant cars there, and obviously someone can squeak out with the win here. Obviously the 24, obviously you could say it's a lucky win, you could say it however you want, but I mean you really showed that Kai and you and your kind of group of guys there were up there in front all the time, and going back to that, what is it like to have a group of guys like that who you could trust or race hard with, to push hard with, to continue to keep that lead up there. I mean, there's some guys in here that come in here that don't really have people to turn to for help when it comes to if I go up to the top, or you're gonna come with me. What is it like just to have that kind of insurance that you go up to the top, you'll have a guy that will go up there and try to get you up there.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy on how me and Alex literally just met this race, so I didn't know how he drove or anything, but Kai trusted him, so I knew if Kai trusted him, I could trust him. Kai taught me everything that I know about super speedway racing and speedway racing, so thank you, Kai, for that and this opportunity.
Obviously, you talked about kind of that finish. Not really a whole lot you could do. It's just kind of like put the car where you think it should be, and hopefully you get through the wreck. And obviously you did. Obviously couldn't get to the 24. The 24 just kind of had the shot hole right there to get through the wreck there. But walking us through the wreck there. Obviously you got through the wreck, and obviously for someone who I would feel like is a pretty strong super speedway racer, how do you always set yourself up to try to get around these wrecks? Obviously, because I feel like there is a skill in wreck avoidance here at these super speedways where the big ones can happen and those sorts of fashion. How do you set yourself up to try to get your car out of there without getting tore up?
Yeah, obviously you have to have some pretty good hand-eye coordination there. Um, it's really fast reaction times between those because it's split the second moments that you have to do it. Because once you see a guy turned around in front of the field, you have to decide high, low, middle on how to avoid that wreck. So, yeah.
I mean, you definitely did a good job. At least I feel like throughout the whole race, car clean looks like you only have a little bit of a scuff on the left front there. So, I mean, that's
Yeah,
just
got involved with that net code incident there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
but
that's just you know, an applause in itself, just keeping the car clean. Got the whole race there, but on it, obviously coming home P2, not probably the finish that you wanted, obviously, like you talked about, but still, a good points day coming into the season debut here for season
man, I
6.
wish I'm a part-time driver though.
Oh wow. Well, I mean, regardless, P2, a good finish is a good finish. But before before we let you go, is there anybody you want to thank here for this podium spot here in the UIS 500?
I want to thank Kai Collymore, Xander McKinney, and 40XLI for giving me an opportunity in that 41 car, and we'll be back next week as a part-time schedule. So see if we can go one more position better next week.
Yeah. Well, we wish you the best of luck here, um, and in your future endeavors here, whether in your part-time debuts. Obviously, you're showing a lot of speed here at Daytona, and hopefully you can, like I said, get maybe a couple notches up higher here. Maybe get yourself a trophy.
Yep. Thank you.
How was your P2 driver, Jason Hall, and the 41 just a little too late. I feel like just couldn't get through the wreck as good as the 24, and that's gonna be right there. But lastly, we have your P3 Fisher, Carmelo, dude. I mean, you talk about an up and down day. Self spun out of pit road and somehow sneaks out to a P2 finisher. Let's go ahead and talk to this O2 driver. Hey Carmelo, it's Christian up here in the HVTV booth. Got a copy?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what a finish for you. Obviously, um, I feel like an up and down day for you. I mean, we saw you get caught up in a couple of wrecks. We saw you get around a couple of wrecks. We saw you, have a little mistake out of pit road there and have to limp it back out. But, walk us through your race. Walk us through, that last lap and those last couple of restarts and how you got up here inside this top three.
Yeah. So at the start of the race, I was top five most of it. I got shuffled out in like lap 30. I got went a lap down, and then in the stage one stage break, my game crashed, so I went 3 laps down. So I just kind of drove around for 130 laps until I got all my laps back because of lucky dogs. Uh, and then I guess I just pushed the guy in front of me.
Yeah, well, walk it. Obviously we saw that huge wreck at the end that we'll have to go back and look at after we get done with these interviews. When you see those wrecks, like obviously you did a fantastic job getting through it. Obviously you sitting up here in the podium spot. How do you prepare yourself for that kind of thing? Because it's most likely going to happen on the white flag lap, going to the line. Everybody's going to be pushing for everything they got. How do you prepare yourself to try to at least survive through that?
I mean, at that point in the track, right next to the start finish line, I wasn't. I was just not going to lift or brake. I was just going to stay on the gas and see what finishing place I got.
I mean, I feel like that's honestly, I don't blame anybody for doing that. I mean, you hear that quote, and I'm not lifting until I see the checkered flag or the for God or whatever is that ARCA driver said. But I mean, honestly, I mean, and I don't blame anybody for doing that. But and obviously, you did a good job of doing to get yourself up here into a podium spot. But walking us through, with this new draft package, obviously, I don't know how new or old you are to the sim here. Obviously, this is one of my first races up here in the booth, but comparatively to the old package where it really drove a lot different compared to how it drives now. What would you say are kind of the key differences from that old package that everybody loved and really appreciated to this new, um, this new update that we got here recently?
Yeah, I'm not the person to ask for that. I do not drive cup cars like at all. I'm a truck. I'm a truck main.
Well, I'll try to rephrase this. So when it comes to the pack racing in general, right? We saw a lot of 2x2 action, right? How easy was it to kind of move your way through the field? Was it because back in the day it was pretty hard to kind of make a move there. You kind of had to sit in line and hope that your line went. But it looks like here, I mean, if you got to run, you can go up, take it, and kind of move around. Is that kind of? I felt like it seems a little bit easier to. It seemed easier, at least in my opinion, to get up there, make up some spots. Actually move around up and down throughout these lanes.
I feel like most of the race it was like more of a gridlock. I was really struggling to get any momentum, like lap 185. But in the overtimes, it was a lot easier. A lot of people were pushing, and there was a lot more people making moves that would stack up a certain line, which would make it easier to just pass a certain line or slide up to the outside.
I mean, that definitely. I mean, I think you put it to a T there. I mean, kind of gridlock, but also if you needed to make a move, you could. But obviously, you did a good job. You know, putting yourself in a position where you come home P3. But before we let you go for tonight, Carmelo, is there anybody you want to thank here for this podium position here in the UIS 500?
I'd like to thank my teammate Jacob S. Bryant. He low-key carried me through the fuel saving because he was a lap down and he had a full tank, so he just stayed. He just pushed me while I saved. And I'd like to thank like my family and parents, I guess.
Always love having good teammates that can help you, you know, get yourself to a good finish. Obviously, couldn't do it without the fam and the parents and siblings and everything else. But once again, congratulations on this podium spot. Hopefully, you know, you can carry this momentum in the rest of the season, and hopefully, you know, you can get yourself a couple spots better. Maybe get yourself a couple trophies this year.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Now is your P3 finisher and Carmelo in this O2 machine. I mean, what a recovery. I mean, obviously you saw him. He wasn't really running. I would say up towards the front. That's not a disrespect to him at all. I mean, there's so many masterful super speeder racers that sit in the back, put themselves in the spot to go up here and race up towards the front. That's exactly what he did. I mean, kept the car clean. That's exactly what you need to do for these races. But I guess we'll go ahead and take a look at your unofficial race results here from Daytona for the season opener here for the season 6 of the Will Racing setups. I'm not sure what exactly it's called, but for the UIS Cup Series, we'll go ahead and take a look at your unofficial race results. Obviously, we talked to your top 3 finishers: Logan Brink, Jason Hall, Carmelo. I'm not even gonna attempt to that Carmelo. I don't want to offend anybody there, but you saw that top 3. Obviously, Finnegan Myers back there at P4. Jacob Bryant, P5, Nicholas Martinez Jr. recovers from a P6 after getting caught up in a couple of wrecks late in the race there. Nicholas Rode, P7. Luke Rainin, P8. Gavin Austin will come up P9 after, moving his way up inside the top 5 there at the white flag. Colby Duckworth will end out your top 10. P11 will go to Kaya Collymore in that 39 machine. Christian Zarati will recover back to a P12. Jackson Brown, P13. Aaron Kovnat, or Aaron Strugel, P14. Travis Prather, P15. Michael Deitch, P16. James Sizer, P17. Max Ford, P18. And rounding out your top 20 is going to be Pete Tart in the 57 and Xander McKinney in the 66. Obviously, we saw him link out towards the end there. And here we go. P21 will go to Wyatt Blair, out early. Alex Orega, out early as well. It sucks. I mean, he had such a dominant car and did a masterful job leading a lot of laps there, but he's going to come home. P22, not the finish he wants, but P23 is going to go to Connor Blasco. P24 to Katori Davis after getting caught up in a huge wreck. By net code, unfortunately. Sucks for Kid Norian, a really good kid. P25 goes to Riley Ibanez. P26, Tyler Helms. P27 will go to Hector Colazo in that 17 machine. P28 will go to Chase George, your league order. Out early. Jose Aguilar going to be P29. And then obviously that will round out your field for tonight at Daytona International Speedway. But obviously a little bit of a abrupt start and an abrupt takeover here, so I don't really have a lot of graphics for you guys. But once again, my name is Christian Delgado, your lead producer and commentator for tonight's race here at Daytona International Speedway for the inaugural race here for season 6 of the UIS 500. So I appreciate the opportunity to come up here and call a race. Obviously, I enjoy doing it, and I appreciate you guys coming out. If you guys would please like the stream, subscribe to the channel. Like I said, we are a young and growing network, and all the support means a whole lot to us. So, but once again, I hope everybody has a good rest of the night. Once again, congratulations to Logan Brink on his second UIS 500 championship, and we will see you guys soon. At least for High Velocity TV, we'll be back on next Thursday for the Prestige Cup Series, week 3 of their playoffs, and then this next coming Friday we'll be back on as the AWC Pro Series starts their playoffs at Indianapolis. So once again, hope everybody has a great rest of the night. We'll see you guys soon.